I, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Signature Cocktail with Kyle Hammond. I am indeed Kyle Hammond, and tonight our signature guest is Kat Evans. Welcome, Kat.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
So happy you have joined us this evening. Sorry for that little stumble right there at the beginning. We're trying to get all the things figured out. Punch all the
Stumbles are
buttons.
part of the magic.
I love it. That's how we know it's live.
That's right.
Exactly. So, Kat, we know each other from a little show called an Irish show called A Quiet Man.
Yeah, the
Oh,
quiet man.
sorry, right, The Quiet Man. My bad.
Yeah,
That we did for gentleman Frank Mahone back in the day.
yeah, man or Mahone. I he
I
I
always said
think it's
Mahone.
man.
Man,
I think it's man. Anyway, yeah. So it's based on that movie that had famous people in it, black and white.
filmed
Hmm.
over there in the
I
Ireland.
want to say Olivia de Havilland or something like that. Anyway, so this is really great Irish tale, and it was made into. I think it's based on a short story or a novel.
Hmm.
And then Frank acquired the rights and adapted it for stage. And I guess there was a full equity production a couple decades ago, and he just never got finished with that script. So then he wrote a shorter version that we did at Chief O'Neill's in
Ah,
a Reader's Theater. It was half staged, half Reader's Theater
yeah.
kind of way. And it's a lovely little tale about a guy who returns to England after becoming a pugilist in the United States. He goes to the United States, becomes a steel mill worker, becomes a pugilist to get out of the steel mills, comes back to Ireland and is there during the Troubles when they're fighting for their independence. And then after Ireland gains his independence, he falls in love with a local girl and then is trying really hard to win her heart. And she is trying to liberate herself from her ogre of a brother, and it all comes out in a big pugilist fight and everybody's super tough, and it was a great little tale.
Yeah, it was fun, and it's a great movie. It's a great play. It was a super duper little short play experience that we did. So it was
Yeah,
fun.
I loved it.
Uh,
And for anyone who's tuning in that knows Frank Mann, he died very suddenly in 2015 and we miss him very much. He was a really lovely person to work with, and I don't know, it felt like a really great opportunity to talk about him, and maybe at the end when we make our drinks we can toast him.
cheers to Frank. Absolutely.
Yeah, we've had a lot of loss and we're missing a lot of people. We missed a lot of people during the pandemic. So
Hmm.
I feel like it's a good time to acknowledge him and maybe anybody that you have lost recently. And we'll send some warm feelings to the people we've lost.
It's been a strange time for sure of dealing with loss because loss it's not like it's new, but it's different now, and it's different now because of a varying degree of factors of like how we experience life now. On top of loss or with the loss. So anyway, I agree with you. Yes, we should talk more about it.
Yeah. I
And
mean, and now currently, as we speak, we have a war going on. There are actual people dying
yeah,
and really horrible atrocities being committed on the other side of the world. And here we are.
making drinks.
Of course, it's an internet audience, so we don't know where you are. We hope you're safe. I was about to say everybody here is safe. I don't know. I hope you listeners and watchers, I hope you're safe and I hope you're drinking with us tonight.
Yes, and drinking to happiness and better times ahead. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Cheers. Speaking of plays, you are currently in a play
I am.
that is opening. You said opening soon, or just opened, or
Previews begin April 15th.
boom.
Official opening is April 24th.
And sorry, backtrack. What's the play? And tell us about the play that you're in now.
Today is Emma's Child by
Nice.
Christine Thatcher at
Uh-huh.
City Lit Theater. And it is about a couple in Rogers Park in the 90s who, after 16 years of not being able to have a kid, have gone through an adoption agency, and they are chosen by a pregnant teenager to be the parents of that teenager's child. And then when the baby gets born, things get rough.
Ooh. There we go. That's a,
Yeah.
and things get rough. Like, ooh,
Things get
now I
rough.
want to know more. Like, oh, here we
Uh,
go.
I
We
will
should.
say it's fast paced, it's very funny, but bring your tissues.
Boom. Those are that's the kind of plays that I like. That are like, ha ha ha. Oh,
Yeah.
that's how they get
It,
you.
yeah, it's honestly one of the best scripts I've ever been handed, and I'm super honored I'm playing the adoptive mom.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's
That's
gonna be
exciting.
and this child that
Congratulations.
City Lights. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I hope you can come see it.
For sure.
It's gonna be a really good time.
Perfect. Let's drink to it.
Hey,
Hey,
and
we are.
being back in live theater.
Yeah, and wow, right? Like that's a new
Yeah.
thing. I'm gonna
By the way,
unplug this
City
fridge.
Lit adheres to safety standards and still requires masks for its audience members, as well as a full vaccinated card.
Well, they're good to know. These are all. I'm sure there's all information on the website. We should put in the chat or the link, which is
Right.
right over there on the other side of you, which you're over there. No, you the other way. That way. There you go. Something like that. I don't know. Let's make a drink. What are we drinking?
Yay!
We are making a drink called "Take
called-
You to the Airport."
Take you to the airport. You want the drink first or the story first?
Let's do the story. Let's do the story as we're making the drink. How's that?
All right. Okay. So you're
Or
gonna start.
dealer's choice.
Okay. I want you to start with a big ass ice cube, the biggest one you've got.
Got it. Well, the
Well,
biggest
the biggest
one
one
I
that will
got.
fit in the glass you've chosen.
There you
I should
go.
give you that caveat. So
I've
I
got these.
pre-made these and put them in my Yeti. Oh, that's perfect.
Yours are bigger.
No, they're about the
Mine
same.
are big,
I
but
think our molds. I think my mold is exactly like that, but it's
Oh.
green instead of red.
well, there you go. Sweet. Put it in there. So you start by putting the ice in the glass, or in the shaker.
And you're gonna take your maple syrup,
Okay.
and I want you to drizzle it around the inside of the glass.
Check out this maple syrup. I asked my wife to get some maple syrup, and I can't do anything without my wife. She's the brains and the brawn behind this whole operation. But
That
like,
looks
she
lovely.
got this, and I was like, "That's awesome! Like, good job!"
Yeah, looks really good. So the little fun fact about syrup that I heard, like, you have to Google and check me on this, but that most of the syrup around there is grade A, which of course everybody thinks, oh yes, I'm getting the best syrup because it's A. Turns out grade B is way better
Oh,
and really, really hard to get a hold of. So if you see grade B in the store, get it.
good to know.
Yeah.
Tips
All right,
and tricks
so
here on the
We want
signature
this to be as
cocktail.
delicate as possible. So drizzle it around the glass. That was probably less delicate than I had intended.
Do we have an amount or just drizzle?
Just drizzle around the inside and then cut yourself off.
Okay. I think
And
that's
then
what
you're
I
gonna
do.
take your lemon wedge.
Oh, we're already to the lemon wedge. Oh, see, I'm
Yeah.
behind. This is how it works. Always. I'm always behind.
That's all right. Well, so and the reason we want the lemon wedge directly on the ice cube is because the ice particles make the lemon bloom.
Oh.
So the citrus gets a little brighter, more exciting,
Mm.
and it gets around. So I have a nice big lemon, so I took a pretty small wedge,
Yeah,
and
this
so I'm
my lemon is
squeezing it
pretty
all
big, too.
over the ice cube,
All right.
letting all those lemon drops hit the ice cube and slide down.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm squeezing every last drop out of this insolent musical lemon.
Take that, lemon. You didn't know it was coming for you.
I know.
Show
Right.
you.
That's right.
Perfect.
Okay. So now that we have our drizzled glass, our cube, and our lemon, we can do a little swirly swirl.
Oh, that's how we're scoring. Okay.
All right. It's time for some blended scotch. I love
If I just
Monkey
use my
shoulder.
finger.
It is a fabulous blended scotch and lovely for cocktails. I know many folks find using scotch in cocktails challenging in itself. Scotch is very bold.
Yes. For
got
sure.
a very strong flavor to it. And I will tell you, whiskey is my favorite spirit to mix with. I love all the whiskeys. I love rye, I love bourbon, I love scotch, I love Irish.
All the whiskeys.
Whiskey is wonderful. And I would encourage our audience, don't be afraid of scotch and don't be afraid to cocktail with scotch. It can happen.
There you go.
And if you feel
We
bad
are
about
proof
using
of it
single
happening.
malts, use these blendeds. Like Famous Grouse is really good. It blends really, really well. But I have had delicious cocktails with Lefroy, and especially if you find like a smoky, peaty single malt like Lefroy difficult to take on its own, see how it interacts with the things in a cocktail. But anyway, we're not being so bold as Lefroy tonight. We're going with.
Well, here's my question. Like, so
Yes.
on that note, like, because you seem to know a lot more about it than I do, but like Scotch, I always understood it to be more expensive and or more like high end, and that people. But what you're saying is people should like. The people that with the nose in the air that are like, why would you do anything? The Scotch is great in and of itself. Like, but you're saying, feel free to mix it.
I mean, you should be aware that your cocktail got more expensive when you did that. So I don't want to say like do it willy-nilly. Of course, I want you to be aware of your own economic circumstances.
Fair
You know,
enough.
but yeah, I think I've had really delicious cocktails with scotch, but it requires focus and you have to think about what's going to mix well with this.
For sure.
Bourbon is the easiest whiskey to
Just
mix with.
goes
Gets
with
along
everything.
with everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Bourbon is just a really good social spirit.
For sure.
Rye maybe secondly so. Scotch is a more of acquired taste and you have to balance it. So today we are balancing this
Sweet.
blended scotch with maple syrup, lemon juice. So anyway, we want at least 2 ounces, but you want to think about
I got
how
the
much
doers.
of a drink you want. So I have a 1.5 jigger, and so I'm going to put in 1 full one, and then another half of that. So this ends up being 2.25
Oh,
ounces.
well, I've got a 2-ounce jigger, so I'm just gonna fill
Okay.
it up. Oh, and I
So yeah,
just
do 2 ounces.
spilled some on the board, but it's all right.
And so as you can see, this like almost comes up to the top of my ice cube.
Same.
Swirl it again.
Swirl, swirl.
Yeah, give it a little swirl. It
I
wouldn't
love
hurt
that
to
your
stir it.
method of stirring is swirl instead of like grab a spoon and stir it. Like it's.
You could. I
No,
would
no,
never
but
outlaw a spoon. You
I'm,
stir that
I'm
if
just
you
saying
want to
I
stir
like
it.
your method. I like that.
And then we're gonna top it with chocolate bitters. I'm
Nice.
using Scrappies, which I find thick and delicious and very chocolatey. In fact, earlier today I tested out a different bitters. This is an Angostura cocoa bitters, and it's you got Aztec.
I saw.
Okay.
I
Does
saw
that mean it has like a kick to it? You got like cayenne or something in there?
I don't think so. I think it's just that's the name of the
Aztec chocolate.
company.
Okay. Anyway, I did not use the Angostura cocoa. I'm going with Scrappy's chocolate bitters, and I'm going to shake it generously.
Generously.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Shaky,
Okay.
shaky.
Because I'm my thing on the bitters is that I don't have chocolate bitters, so I had to go get it, and I saw the cocoa Angostura, and I was like, I don't know, maybe that's something different, and this was right next to it and cheaper, so that's what I went with.
Hey, I am all about honoring our economic circumstances. That
Well,
is
you-
important.
I hear you, and I would just so you know on the show, that's what Kyle is all about. Like, I'm sorry, but what if I have this this low shelf version of what we're talking about? I'm trying to raise the bar, trying to get up. You know, for all of you brands that are watching, if you see my signage, it got moved, so it's like right there. Do you see that? Can you see that? So all you
Okay.
you high-end brands, if you want to put your logo there, feel free to reach
Sure.
out to me. And we'll make it happen.
Yay.
So okay, so here we go.
Yep, generous.
Ooh,
generous
generous.
shakes. I said
Oh,
consummate V's. Consummate.
That is looking thick stuff.
Yeah. And then
Oh,
give it one more
smells good
swirl.
too. One more? Oh, one more.
No,
swirl.
with your hand.
Gotcha. Swirl,
This
swirl.
this swirly action.
Swirly. Not
Yeah.
squirrely. Swirly.
Yeah. Okay.
I love it. Is that it?
There.
Oh,
This is
sweet.
the take you to the. Oh, I didn't tell the story.
Well, oh, yeah. First, before we cheers, we got to tell the story.
Okay. So I originally made this cocktail as a favor to a friend who asked me to make a his and a hers cocktail for her wedding.
Oh.
And so this was the his.
Okay.
And I made it because I knew that when they were first in their happy courtship,
Uh-huh.
and in the first night where one of them took the other one home, I don't know who took who home, but after their first night of happiness together, and in the morning there was all kinds of cuddling and happy talk and like, yes, this is it, we're together. And two lovely things. It was he was saying to her all these really nice things that he wanted to do for her. And so he was like, I want to make you dinner. I want to fuck you. I want to take you to the airport. And then, he listed off all these wonderful things like, I'm going to be your emergency contact, like super cute stuff. But as she was processing this a little time away, she was singing to herself, I want to fuck you like an animal. I want to take you to the airport. and me being very close to her, she called me very soon after this date to be like, oh, it went so well. I'm so in love. I love this guy. And also check out this story. So I held that in forever. And then when I got to make his and hers cocktails for her weddings, and I knew that her intended was a Scotch drinker, this was what I created. And this is what I named it. To take you to the airport.
Wonderful full circle story. I love it. I'm gonna cheers that right now.
Cheers!
Cheers. Let's give it a. Okay. Well, that is good. But that is. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting that. I'm just gonna say it.
How would you describe it, Kyle?
I'm gonna try. So the lemon, I taste the lemon. Because just so you know, I'm not like a sour. Like anytime I have a lemon in my drink, I'm like, oh, there's the lemon. Because I'm not. It's not that I don't like the lemon. I can always just recognize it. But what I'm saying is, like, that's the first thing I get. But I think it's the coffee bitters that's in. I'm just gonna say, like, I can taste each one of these ingredients if I think about it. Like, that's so fascinating that I'm like, there's a little bit of maple syrup in there. I can feel that on my palate. That's good though. But I don't know if you can hear the kids running around upstairs. It means it's almost time for me to go.
But so anyway, just to mention the list of people we wanted to drink to earlier. Here's to Frank Mann.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers, Frank.
Here's to Lindsay and David, the couple for whom I made this drink.
Oh man, you're gonna have me finish this drink right now on camera.
Small sips, Kyle.
That's what I'm trying to take, small sips.
And here's to all of us talking about our feelings, dealing with loss after a pandemic, and as we're now dealing with a global war.
Here's to us.
Yep.
And being together and talking.
Stay strong, friends.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like this ongoing joke is like, tell us how it tastes, Kyle, and I'm like, I don't know, good. So I always attempt to describe it, but I'm not really that great at the descriptions, but I'm gonna try. The lemon with the Scotch, like I agree with everything that you were saying about blended and Scotch. Like this is like, it's not like a Scotch drink. It's not like I'm a Scotch drink. It's just like I can taste it. It's back there, but it's not hitting me with a fist.
My significant other detests Scotch, so I'm gonna make one of these later for him with larceny.
There you go. That's not a bad idea. Anyway,
I'm gonna make this same drink later with this for someone else.
Because you know why?
Scotch is not for everyone.
It goes well because what's the bourbon or the whiskey?
Yeah. Yeah.
This bourbon, it's a social drink. It gets along with everybody.
Right. It mixes
That's,
well.
that's my new favorite description. Like, bourbon just gets along with everybody.
It's a social spirit. It gets along with everybody.
That's awesome. Well, Kat, thank you
A lot more particular.
for this. Cheers. We'll let everybody enjoy their weekend. Cheers, everybody. Enjoy your weekend.
Cheers, everybody.
Make sure
Thanks for
you
tuning in.
get tickets to
Emma's
Child at City
It's
Lit.
City Lit.
And have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Nighty night.
Yeah, I don't. I'm gonna have to work on a description for that because it's good.